circle the crowded city. It is often difficult for people to associate it with the quiet nature. But where we are about to go is an exception. My name is Dongjing, and welcome to the financial center of Europe, Frankfurt am Main, Germany. Here you can not only taste the fragrance of flowers from all over the world in Germany's largest botanical garden. You can also visit the Frankfurt Museum, one of the most influential natural history societies. Feel the vicissitudes of nature in the museum headquarters. But compared to fossils and plants, the animals living in this city are more perfect for telling you their natural stories. Welcome to the Wonderland of Creatures Frankfurt Zoo series. I will show you. Explore this century-old zoo in a magical place. In the next 10 long videos, I will take you to visit old friends and get to know each other. New faces and from the underwater world to the vast sky born from the sun. When directing, their lives are more exciting than you imagine. And I will show you all this one by one in the next series of videos. Now please bring your curiosity, and we will set off immediately. Mystery and the coexistence of gorgeousness, softness, and hardness. This is the two-chest reptile. Their images have exceeded people's imagination time and time again, and so have their life experiences. Leading mankind to uncover the meaning of evolution and progress in biology is often. It is inseparable from observations and summaries in captivity, and raising these scientifically and effectively. Animal knowledge. In Germany, they are collectively called Rarest, which means road tribe. Learning or Luclan knowledge. And it is closely related to Young Pious Luclan learning. The city that is connected to the Frankish country in Germany must be famous here. The legend of the Luclan begins in 1884. In that year, the earliest Luclan study focuses on taking care of the residents of Luclan Township through here. In the next 100 years, the exhibition design of the museum. Frankfurt continues to develop natural history and ethnology within amphibians. They have created many landmark lines, such as the Frankfurt Museum. The museum and Goethe University have cultivated many research talents. These scholars and enthusiasts in 1918. The world's first association between academics and enthusiasts in Germany. The birth of the country more than 40 years later. This pioneering association is reborn in Frankfurt with a new name. The development of German ethnology has entered the fast lane. Related professional publications are jet development. It has provided a large amount of knowledge and talents to Germany and the world. Professional content greatly increases the upper limit of road studies, but sometimes it will widen the distance between you and ordinary fans. At this time, zoos in various places have become a bridge of communication between the two parties. Frankfurt Zoo has played this role for nearly 150 years. After visiting the seawater and freshwater biology exhibition area on the first floor, we will to walk up to the second floor of this ancient building. There is a street exhibition area and a dark floor. The aquarium area is different. The transparent dome on the second floor looks particularly bright. This groundbreaking design dates from 1904. It is this piece of sunlight that has effectively slowed down the process of keeping reptiles in captivity for hundreds of years, dying in the footsteps of darkness. So how does light affect animal life? Now let's go find out. Warning steps we have today. The first thing to look at is the long and narrow space embedded in the wall on the right. Looking at the waterway divisions, you may have guessed what kind of animals are raised here. Animal life. At first glance, this environment is for turtles. These little black turtle hatchlings are the native species, the European turtle babies. The face, long tail, and small shell of 5 centimeters indicate that they were just born. The larvae, although they are still very small, have already developed the ability to reach climax. The ability is only to absorb better quality light because of the bright light not only makes diurnal animals happy during the day, it also the ultraviolet contained in the light can also promote the production of vitamin 3 to absorb calcium. This is particularly important for baby turtles that are in a period of rapid development. If you lose your patience and go visit the other booths now, you will find that there is no physical culture here. So where did these little turtles come from? In fact, as early as the last century, Hesse, where Frankfurt is located, it's hard to see wild zebras anymore. So in 1999, the local zebra team decided to rely on artificial conservation to increase the number of zebras. Frankfurt Zoo is one of the first participants. Every year the zoo draws from the sanctuary. Take back the turtle eggs and conduct artificial hatching of fish larvae to increase the survival rate. At the same time, the incubation temperature can also be adjusted to control the gender of the hatchlings ratio in order to better maintain the population. After more than half a year, after being raised, the young turtles already have the molars of a perennial turtle. teenagers will return to suitable and protected spaces next summer. Although they will face more survival challenges, you will also enjoy better quality light. Maybe you have just discovered these little guys who are so proud of their lives are doing nothing but basking in the sun. How do zoos simulate sunlight to satisfy their ultraviolet rays? What about the demand? At this time we need to look up and we can see. Here is a lamp set composed of 3 lamps. The white one is the high color pattern Jean lamp. The brightness is sufficient and the light effect is good, providing them with the enjoyment of a sunny day. Yellow is a mixed light lamp, also known as a sun lamp, which can provide a large amount of ultraviolet light but low brightness. Use it with gold street lights to create It's close to the sunbathing platform at noon in the wild. Then why do the little turtles treat lamps like this? Pay attention to the fact that in addition to high quality light, it can cover and sterilize and allow. In addition to the better condition of the little turtles, the light close to the sun can make them adapting to natural circadian rhythms in advance will allow them to settle in more quickly later on. Life in the wild. Keep looking inside. The lamp inside is actually sun lamp. Look at the brightness, it doesn't look energetic. In fact, this lamp is used for it's safe because this environment is long and there are many turtles. If there are turtles, you can't grab them. Good location. You can supplement the left line here, but you must use lights. Pay attention to the usage regulations. It may be dangerous if you are too close. You see, these lights are half a meter away from the water. Then through 3-dimensional sutures, let the right turtle adjust the position of basking on its own. Look! After lighting up the water, you will see that there is no filter. Because the right body may be sucked by the water outlet, or in order to escape the water flow. It consumes a lot of energy, so at this stage we can only manually look at the appearance of UB. This arrangement is actually quite consistent with the low-flow stagnant ponds they like in the wild. Okay, now that we've finished watching the little turtles, let's go up the steps and take a look at the large gate here. Facing our large exhibition space is America here. In the standard exhibition area, the steel bar in front of visitors is 3 meters wide. The water depth is usually about 1.5 meters, so now is just in time to change the water. So the water level is less than half a meter. Why does it have to be so deep? Water. In addition to restoring a North American pond, one of the residents here is a fan of. If the water depth is required, he will often slide in front of the glass to watch. Tourist, the subterranean turtle native to the North American continent. Don't look at it. It seems like it only has. It's as big as a small pancake, but it's the most widely distributed in the world. Category 1, from the Canadian border in the north to northeastern Mexico in the south. It can be seen that not only are they highly adaptable, but they are also active. Don't underestimate it. This one doesn't look big. It's only about 20 centimeters. That's because this is a male, more than twice its size. This space requirement is very similar to that of pig and turtle. Only large aquariums or outdoor ponds can raise them. Comfortable exercise. Looking at the wide feet, how graceful it is to swim. Why was the turtle called the second turtle that time? Look carefully. It has 1,000 yuan armor on its back. Similar bumps to mountain turtles, except their bumps are harder. Some hence the name. It's not always so lively from here. It's pretty cool when there are a lot of tourists. It's shy. If it doesn't swim in the water, it won't be basked in. If you look for it in the water, you might be able to find this shoulder handle with a breathing tube. The most beautiful aspect of this environment will be when the water level returns to normal. Look at the big log in the water just now. It was actually used as a balcony. But these terraces are far away from people. Let me help you with my long-angle lens. They dragged them over and these two were basking in the sun. They are very popular in Germany. Popular Eastern landscape rules. How popular is the term tortoise viewing in Germany? The old-tailed tortoise that also comes to bask at this time is the largest individual here. He is enjoying a leisurely afternoon under the lamp. Here he lives. I have a sun. Do I still need some sun? Although the sunshine in France is pretty good in Germany, it is different from that in North America. There is also a gap compared to my hometown, especially during the cooling period of spring and autumn, when there is a 40. A hot tunnel of 45 degrees can avoid many risks except for keeping warm and drying the sun. It also provides enough brightness to meet their color vision needs. I know that many turtles have 4-color vision. One dimension higher than the human eye, red, orange, and yellow will be particularly clear when there is sufficient light. For example, this is Huashot's little winter next layer. You might think that there are only 3 scattered things on my body, but in the eyes of other ghosts, there may be dozens of them. Color. It's not your fault, or my fault. It's their lipstick color. There are really many, and the lighting conditions are good, allowing them to see the world in their eyes. If it is colorful, the hair color will naturally look better. Others with similar needs are the black currant nap turtles living together. This huge one. The female statue is also basking, which is a relatively dry basking spot on the map. It can effectively prevent fungal infection of the back armor, and also helps their leg shells. More importantly, by basking on their backs, animals can automatically adjust the conversion amount of vitamin 3 to vitamin 3 allows the body to both produce enough 3 without overdosing it, so here's why. Providing corresponding UV rays according to the needs of animals is the most natural supplementary covering. Wait. This topic will be introduced in depth later. Then I kick my legs. This is a behavior that makes you feel comfortable. Of course, an environment can not only have sunbathing spots and cooling is also equally important. Character, open bodies of water like here are their cooling pools. Not only. Species that can cool down and start repairing also have enough hiding places, such as the night back camera cabinet that we just climbed up is what we often call a razor. This razor is not a shy turtle, but it is indeed the smallest in steel. If there were a group of active big guys around him, he wouldn't dare to be so short. It's so far away, so do you need to wear binoculars to see turtles here? Not necessarily. Apart from coming here sometimes when eating, I also come here occasionally. There will be a feeding show, throwing some food like this to attract them. Aren't all aquatic turtles meat eaters? In fact, many aquatic turtles will consume more or less plant food in the wild. Especially those like jingui and weigui, the proportion of vegetarians will increase in adulthood. Of course, for nutritional balance, they're staple food in a captive environment. It is better to mobilize the feed prepared by yourself. Native vegetables like this can only be used as snacks with no nutrition are just to show the taste of food to tourists. There are fish willing to clean up the uneatable leftovers. The environment is large and intentionally low density, if you can find every a species is not so easy, but it is precisely because of this. This exhibition area is full of surprises. Lucky people sometimes receive special awards. For example, at a certain time, a rainbow will be projected on the ground. I've been here dozens of times and I've only seen this once. Then it's New Year's.
It's time to start making a wish. See the deepest exhibition area in the entire exhibition. Next, we'll start looking at the main exhibition hall.
There are a total of 6 booths in the front hall. The layout is almost the same as 65 years ago. There are more than 40 booths in the back. We will see these one by one later. The environmental layout that looks a bit old is actually from nearly 100 years ago. Proposed in the late 1920s. At the time, this was one of the most advanced road pavilions in the world. To commemorate this design that transcends the era, we will continue to maintain it in the future.
Still retains the layout and display concept of the year. Now we're going to see how this old antique works today. Let's take a look at the first booth in this row. On the right is an earth wall over half a meter high. This structure is both easy to climb and good for hiding. Look down and see sand, gravel, and weeds at the bottom.
There is also a weeping velvet on the left. It usually has trees and grass like this. The environment is humid but not humid. In addition, most of the earth walls on the right are modeled after the weathered sandstone of the Kimberley region of Western Australia. Kimberley rock tools like hedgehog monitors are common. Indonesian carpets often use similar designs. But the owner here is not any of the above, but one of the rarest pythons in the world. Rough-scaled pythons, just because one day I caught up with them to feed them. Let's take this opportunity to take a closer look at it. This one is still young. He was born in Cologne when he was less than 2 years old and was brought here in 2020. You might think, isn't this a carpet python? Yes, the scientists who first discovered them actually thought they were carpet pythons. But later I discovered that there are many differences between them. Especially in terms of body structure and size, they are more like green tree pythons. The forest of origin and the tall evil smoke also provide many three-dimensional space, so every coarse-grained python likes complex and diverse vertical looks. In addition, the coarse-grained python has more exaggerated tusks than the green tree python. What are these tusks? Is it used to land birds? You are great. Scientists have thought so before. But the charm of nature lies in unexpected exceptions. By analysis, the diet of individuals in the wild has been found. Rough-raned pythons do not seem to feed on birds. What they like to eat is the local Australian white-tailed rat. This rat has an escape trick, that is, it will automatically fall off when caught. Hair to escape, and then long teeth are used to penetrate the hair and fix it. Evolution made to live in these moments is practical. So they are also very accepting of rats when raised. Let's talk about their suspension. Let's go back to me. Rough-scaled python, why is it called rough-scaled python? Doesn't this look quite delicate? Come and swallow it. Let's look at the details. Look at them carefully.
The scales are not just flaky, but each scale has. The slightly raised texture is not like the day's texture composed and delicate.
It's more like the king snake with the same rough scales. Come over and see it better. Note that this trait only appears after they are 1 year old. It appears. Did it look more like a carpet before 1 year old? But other species of the same genus are all smooth and smooth, so why is it special? This may be related to their living environment. As mentioned before, they lives on hillsides and cliff crevices with relatively sparse vegetation and sandstone. If you still look so shiny in this environment, it will be too easy to be discovered by the world and prey. So this kind of grass forest can effectively reduce reflection and increase friction. Finally, why did I say at the beginning that it is one of the rarest pythons? Because in the nearly 50 years since their discovery, only a dozen have been found in the wild. So almost all of the physiological research on this species is based on 20. One of the descendants of the 3 male and 2 porcelains who were skinned and captured many years ago.
It was saved from the mouth of Gankabang.
But fortunately, it is not difficult to raise and reproduce them, providing sufficient samples for future generations. Well, as the story ends, he is almost done eating. Don't just remember. Regarding the rough forest, please remember that this environmental structure will appear again in the future.
After watching Australia's sand and forest, We are now going to visit the western part of North America. In the prairie, the lighting configuration here is simpler.
There is only a Gene lamp and a fluorescent tube. The three-dimensional phoenix is not rich. This shows that the protagonist in it has relatively little need to climb and only comes to the ground. Feeling a dryness coming over your face. The next look is very similar to the environment just now. Then you need to be patient and take a closer look. There is a small hole here that can be stabilized. If it can be shaped, it means the sand here is not that dry. Moreover, the particles on the surface of the sand are also uneven, ranging from coarse to fine.
What kind of little animals would live in a place like this?
Coming to us now is the western hognose snake, which is native to North America. In their hometown there are vast and open prairie areas, and these. Grass grows on loose, sandy soil with good snow drainage in the wild. Curious hognose snakes often wander into this environment. The rest of the time, he either hides in the holes he dug or lives under dead trees and rocks. Therefore, the typical living environment of hognose snakes is also summarized here. That's the problem. Wouldn't you eat a mouthful of sand if you eat on such gravel ground? So let's think about what the hognose snake's staple food is. It's small frogs, amphibians, and occasionally snake eggs and turtle eggs. There are also insects. If you are lucky, you can catch small lizards and mice. So where will these staple foods appear? Do the local children jump into the sand? In fact, they do. But most of them are concentrated near water sources or in microorganisms with higher humidity. There may not be sand there. Even if there is, frogs need to breathe in. Absorbing water will not make you wrap like the fish balls in the fried bowl, covered in sand. So although hognose snakes live in grasslands with sandy soil, the situation will be much better when hunting. But in a trap environment, it is usually not afraid of such living creatures, which creates a slight deviation. So this well only gives you part of the life of the species. You can have a lot of fun here, but for myopia safety, it is best to leave a relatively flat and clean countertop floor. Satellite TV. Wipe the surface of defrosted food dry, and there will be less dust. The trend of electrical materials. If you still feel that sand is unreliable, it doesn't matter. The same goes for fields and mountains. Their happy home is the same thick soil pillow leaves as other snakes. They can also live happily, but if they decide to use sand and soil electrical materials, then the size of the environment must be sufficient. Give them some room to climb instead of forcing them to crawl on the ground. But this environment is 1.380 meters, which is very good for pig coins. Even if it is doubled in size, it will still be very sufficient. An environment that does not need to be very big but is sufficiently elegant is not only suitable for, it's more comfortable for animals and wonderful for the four owners. Visual enjoyment. How many people are attracted by their natural behavior. But unknowingly, I developed the attitude of not being able to see them. Because our threshold for buying pets is too low, many new people will quickly falling into comparison and hoarding. In fact, you might as well ask yourself every time you buy an animal, what do I see in him? Do I have enough time and money to get what I want? To know about all the species you see in my videos for you. None of them are necessities of life. Maybe in less than 3 months, it won't be that important to you. Give yourself some time to think and learn more about animals. Listening to different perspectives and voices not only makes life easier, but it saves money, right? I believe that many people are interested in this kind of thing. Daisuke, who has a strong experience in elementary school and is actually familiar with the environment, is very helpful. Curious, they will do a lot of things that are not consistent with common sense. For example, tree appreciation. Look at their short and thick bodies. They can also cut themselves off like a tree. He was fixed on the West Fork. In fact, the temperature that day was sufficient. Maybe I'm just bored and want to observe tourists from a different perspective. So what is the connection between this behavior and the heat of light? How long does it take to let them exhibit this behavior when they climb high? What do they like? Climb a wall or a tree? If they are never given a diverse environment, the above problems will never. There will be no answer. The impression pig nose will leave on everyone will only be a guy who lifts boxes at night and sleeps during the day. So for this little snake with a very unique personality, what is common sense? Finally, I want to emphasize that I have no intention of convincing everyone to keep snakes this way. My video is just a reference for people who want to raise it like this. And there's more than one way to nourish yourself in the world, and there are many other ways to nourish yourself. Brilliant achievements, some new-sounding concepts, maybe in Germany, has been practiced for decades, and this experience is what zoos and what expert enthusiasts should learn. If my video can arouse everyone's interest in checking out more information, that's really great. I looked at 2 relatively dry environments in a row. Now let's look at some wet conditions. This environment is much more nourishing at first glance. Several layers of autumn flowers from Africa on the ground greatly add to the tropical feel. The large pool on the ground also implies that the people living here are from the relative small animals in humid areas. Go up. This is a big leaf. Turn it up. The tough leaves are for the elves here. The giants of the Falkland Islands are handmade by day. Provides the perfect platform. Is this gecko's name so long? Isn't it allowed to travel on a daily basis on the island? So what we often call Mako Island daily handicrafts included before 2007. For subspecies, and what we see now is also the most common, just one of the subspecies. Now this species has become an independent species. This is the Mako Island Giant Day Walking Handicraft. So what are the differences between it and the Mako Island Day Walking Handicraft? First, the red line between their nose and eyes does not extend to their neck. Second, look carefully at the scales on their flanks. They are slightly larger than the scales on their backs. Third, their green is bright green, not other greens. If the brown and white markings have the above three characteristics, then he must be.
Falkland Island is a giant.
Now that we have a clear understanding of the characteristics of the Falklands giant, let's look at the issue of captivity. Generally speaking, their big tails can cling to tree trunks. The third leg is used to maintain balance, but when the environment is not high enough, the tail. When it's too heavy, it may become a burden. For example, something like this. This is not that he is sending a signal, but that he has unlocked the wrong posture. In fact, this problem is not common in daily walking. It is more common in leg amputation. The reason for those hand drawings is that I am too fat and my tail is too heavy. I stand upside down. When the time comes, it will fold down uncontrollably. Either the environment is too short, or you can't climb up and squeeze your waist, or you stand upside down. There was no room to put the tail when I was sleeping, so it was folded off like this. But this environment is as high as 1.2 meters. How can it not be high enough, according to me?
Observe, this is another reason.
It's obvious that this one is about, and its body surface is particularly perfect and sound.
Male, and there are several bows in this environment, but they are either small.
Either the body is very injured, which means that this is just a king with an excellent winning rate. Or,
to show off your dominance, you must occupy the one with the best light.
it's a high place, so I fixed this place. It's almost done. It's too noisy. It hurts my waist. In fact, the social behavior of daily handicrafts is very diverse.
There are many stories about this species, so many are included in this box.
Can't shut up. You have to go outside to talk.
Here.
If you have never been to the place of origin of Nico, then this place can give you a similar experience.
Yeah, there's a small free-ranging population of Falklands giants here, so let's go shopping first and come across some stories about them. Let's tell them. Come on. It shows that the species here have high light requirements, but the ones piled below. The salt flake wall shows that they usually hide in cracks to avoid temptation.
There is a large cuttlefish bone on the ground. Seeing this and these saltstone flakes, there is actually no suspense about the protagonist here.
The species we talked about before are ready to be posted on the barrage.
Right. It's the cracker deer turtle. Look how happy it is basking on its back.
But if you look carefully, you may find that the turtle's carapace is similar to ours.
It's different from what I've seen before. The texture isn't right. There's a bit of edema. Feel. Yes, these are the biscuits with missing lids when I was a child. The distance is said to be because of the previous. The 4 groups did not provide suitable lighting. If it continues to deteriorate, I sent the money here. Now it is still healthy and can reproduce. You can recognize the way biscuits are coming back. Don't you know how to turn on the light? It will definitely open. But is the sunbathing enough? Many hobbyists do not research the species carefully before buying it. Regarding the specific UV requirements, maybe people just buy you. Start using it. And because I didn't have solid basic knowledge, I didn't pay attention to the radiation intensity of the lamps. It depends on the distance used or not on the wattage. Or they are afraid of flying electricity and are reluctant to turn on the light, or they are reluctant to replace the light when it is too thin.
These incorrect usages will cause the light to be turned on but not fully turned on.
For species with high UV requirements, these problems can quickly arise. Irreversible damage. Do you have to be as generous as a zoo to use lights? It's definitely the best if you can, but if your conditions don't allow it. If you use light, it is actually effective to take dietary supplements containing calcium powder. Alleviate the problem of insufficient lighting. But as for whether to take high concentration or low concentration, and the frequency of stomach depends on the difference between actual lighting conditions and species needs. So no matter what you want to raise, you must check the light requirements of the species. Then decide based on your actual situation. Having enough natural light is definitely the best. If not, you have to use a light. If it doesn't work, you have to make up for it. Nowadays, animals' demand for ultraviolet light is no longer what it used to be. Yes, many species have relatively specific numbers.
You can check my column for those who have similar UV needs. And this emperor with a cuttlebone as a pillow is behind him.
There are also 2 teenage Mozambique ringtail tins. I still remember the old days. Is it the Warren ringtail tin we talked about? These 2 species are very closely related, but these 2 are really too old and not very flexible. They belong to.
Meet the Lord who looks once and has less than one thing.
The other one is in the middle of the stone crevice. I only saw them once, and I haven't seen them since. But when the emperor calms down, how can he feel like an emperor? It looks so detailed. It's relatively simple because he is a female. The characteristics of females are the one with black background and yellow lines, but the male looks completely different, with head, body and tail. Fiery red, only the limbs are black. In the wild will lead several females to occupy a piece of salt from the top, observing potential intruders from a high position.
Maybe it's because of their gorgeous colors and this behavior.
Only then did they get the title of emperor. That way Xiao was called Ping Ping because of them. It's really too flat, but it's precisely because of this specialized shape. They can embed themselves into the local area as quickly as a cracker deer cabinet. The typical landform of Kepui rock emerges from the cracks in the rocks, and then look at it again. Although the family characteristics are not obvious, you can see that they also look like one wishy's tail. One of the behavioral characteristics of this family is that even if they go out during the day, they often remain motionless. I want to see them move a bit. I'm lucky. Yo, during feeding time. Look carefully at the tube in his hand. Now let's take a look at the reason. What? The most common white cricket. Why did you put it in a tube to feed it? It's because this makes it easier to sprinkle calcium powder, and the crickets will not jump out easily when placed in the tube. Why sprinkle calcium powder, such as common crickets, mealworms, and other calcium points? Beta is relatively low. Too high zero content will deprive calcium absorption, so artificial calcium powder is needed to compensate for the bugs themselves. This one drips calcium.
Defects. Okay, he just wanted to eat from another angle, but he is too old and not flexible enough, so the crickets escaped. It's okay, don't worry. They will meet again eventually. I'm not sure after reading this. Typical Huanweixi. Next we have to take a look at the whole Huanweixi. Iconic species of the family.
This is also a fourth-class group. The light is strong, but the upper part is very open, and there is no obstruction.
So what kind of animal can withstand such a high level of ultraviolet radiation?
Thorn Dragon. Superstar Huan Weishi is accepting your worship.
If this is your first time seeing this image of the legendary dragon, please put open eyes on the public screen.
If you've ever seen this species, it's probably the oldest one you've ever seen, because they have lived here for more than 20 years. Now that time has sculpted their faces, they no longer look like young individuals. Such a cold army, even the many thorns on his body have become round and round. The largest species of the Cyclopsicity, the giant cyclops, has an awe-inspiring image. The posture of the rat wolf with its hands and chest raised, its huge bone armor all over its body. Intimidating to most predators. Of course, this is just the image they display to the outside world. Look carefully at there. The joints of the limbs are much softer, otherwise these sharp thorns would hinder movement. Look, this is their soft side. Let's look at other parts. In order to defend against threats from above, the armor on the back is thicker. In order to prevent the abdomen from being attacked, the thorns on the abdomen are especially sharpened. But the most important defense is the bone spurs on their tails. Once in danger, it will retreat to the cave and block the door with its tail. Or swipe with their tails, but that also causes trouble for them because their habitat is suitable for grazing and they often behave like this, standing like a cow or sheep. As a result, they suffered retaliation from the herdsman, but this was not because they were vicious. Are you bullying him at the doorstep? Why can't you fight back? The giant ring in the whole day is not only good-natured, but also very homely in the wild. They live a life where their wives and children live on the hotbed, and most of them go out. The activity is to lie down in front of the cave entrance and bask in the sun, not moving for an hour. Fox hunting also eats pets delivered to your door. But it is precisely because the back nail is supported that it greatly reduces the effect of ultraviolet rays penetrating the skin. It takes them longer to absorb enough UV rays. Staying in the sun gradually develop their signature moves. Face the sun with your head held high, and thus gain the fatal title of sun worshipper. This is a rock image that I recorded for more than half an hour. We are motionless and big movements, but don't think that just because you like to be exposed to the sun. They need high temperatures and know that they are found in the highland grasslands of South Africa. The altitude there is over 1,500 meters. It only gets sunshine, but not too hot in winter. It's frozen, so except for the 45-degree sunbathing spot, other areas are at 20 degrees. At 20 degrees Celsius, it can even drop to 17 degrees Celsius at night. It feels cold. But it's hot. Turn your tail outwards and turn your head to cool down the cave. Their caves in the wild are 3 meters long and contain a lot of things. Unknown details of life, and all we can see are them. Is there anything I can do during those hours when my face is spinning around every day? Have you seen their ongoing updates?
Yes, that's just rice.
These are things you may not be able to see when you come here, so still. There are no 3 consecutive facts and actions to pay attention to. Look carefully, they are directly. Bite it with your mouth instead of sticking out your tongue first like Grandmaster Green Hunt. Food. This behavior is a major difference between them and the sauropods. Don't worry. They will be pragmatic in making preparations. The places of origin and the surfaces raised in captivity are relatively. It's so solid that it won't be so empty that you can shovel a mouthful of sand and bring it with you a little bit.
There is no problem at all.
This may be because the lizard didn't want to eat or wanted to wait. When they know how to eat, they will close their eyes if they smell the bugs in their faces. Shaking your head and rubbing your mouth to express your impatience is not allowed in this situation. I'll have to come back later. Of course, out of the principle of not wasting, you can feed it to the other one. Let's look at it again.
It eats, you see, right? It bites directly.
I don't know if you have noticed that they are also ring-tailed lizards. The lizard just now ate lizards. What we are fed here are small desert snails. Is there any difference between the two? In fact, they can eat both kinds of food, but locusts have the advantage. In fact, he still runs slowly. You can also see it. He is also an old lizard. The sensitivity of these two one-way is far less than the parallel one just now, so locusts will be easier to catch. How easy are they to catch? Come here and I will catch them for you.
1.
Grab a big one. This is a worm that slipped through the net immediately after being dropped by the guardian division, the breeder. We don't usually catch them. We leave them to those who roam freely and eat by hand. Just take this opportunity to tease this tall little guy, by the way. Take a look at Wei Lizard's medicinal face. These are 4 words, trying to capture the old sector. If it's a little thinner, I'll get tired of being so anxious. So, Be patient at this time and let it see the bugs, but don't get too close. Look, if you hide it like this, it will come back.
It's this kind of looming and reappearing that attracts the most attention. As long as you are patient, it will be the one who is impatient.
It doesn't seem to be looking at me, but it can still detect bugs sensitively. Movement. These reptiles are very sensitive. It's just not easy to see. Now, have you seen the rusted tongue? This is the same as the manual behavior. They also rely on licking to collect scents. This is a sign of curiosity and interest. Behavior. It has no mammalian expressions or bird sounds. Only by mastering the underlying logic of their behavior can we understand their thoughts. Okay, this locust has worked hard enough. Return it to the shelter door. I'll take the shelter seat and put it there. They ran away again, but as soon as I released the locusts, I discovered that there were some here. One is blocking me. I'm so sorry. I waited for a long time in vain and I took it away. I'm done. For the earthly and reticent Lord, let's take a look at the tree-like environment on the opposite side. It's obviously much moister. Let's look at it from the ground first. It's very practical to mix bark chips with the original soil. The combination of electrical materials and the water-locking effect are very good. The main content on the internet is still. The dead tree trunks are intertwined with the velvet triangles on both sides. It looks like two big trees were planted. Of course, these leaves can not only beautify the environment, but also be the protagonist inside, providing music. Looking at the lamps, they are only dual energy sets, ultraviolet. The strength is reduced by half, which is in line with the needs of this type of tree species. So where is it? Come and follow me up this tree trunk. Have you seen it? If not, please admit defeat through the barrage, and I will try another one. Angle. You can see it this time, if it weren't for its big eyes that betrayed it. I guess you have to look for it for a while. This master of camouflage hidden behind the tree trunk is the Western Void Animal Department. It is also one of the so-called pseudo-chameleons. They are only found in a small area in the mountains of western Cuba. The sparse distribution density and superb camouflage skills allow them to. The wild has become one of the rarest places of comfort. Then why are they called pseudo-chameleons? They don't just have John and high-gloss chameleons. It looks like a big mouth and can turn independently like a chameleon. He's staring at me. He looks and acts like me. They also look like me. Chameleons tend to be solitary unless it's breeding season. Rarely communicates with other individuals, and even adjusts the shades of colors to blend in with the tree trunks. The impression they leave on people is so motionless. But after we got along for a long time, he finally relaxed his attitude toward outsiders. Be alert. I was also very lucky to be photographed by you. He came out on his own initiative.
Observing human beings, this process took more than half a year.
He moves very carefully. In fact, many pre-reptiles cannot adapt to humans quickly. It's normal for the adaptation process to take several months, so be patient.
Necessary traits for road warriors.
While he's online, let's take a look at his characteristics. Why are their heads so big? Why did Shui Anno grow a big head? It was mainly because he was worried about food. Their staple food is the local staple snail. In order to eat these shells, only then did they evolve powerful shrimp foreheads and muscles as well as round stewed teeth.
Only in this way can you be happy.
Shouldn't there be a lot of local food? Why choose something so toothsome? This is not forced because Cuba is more flexible. In fact, it was also there. How could he win over others? So he slowly picked out the remaining ones.
I don't need to talk like this after I raise them. People also want to eat big locusts. Okay. After reading Shui Anno, let's move forward.
Look, there's another gecko here, even close. Let's see another one. Gecko's little behavior. Look carefully at its toes to see if they are turned up. This is because their suction cups are so easy to use. Before moving the position, you need to move the suction cup away to reduce the area of the prison area. Now Eve finished looking at all the submarine booths. I'm still looking at them.
A collection of barrages. More interesting content is yet to come.
In the atrium, the overall size of the box here is one size larger. Either to reflect the characteristics of native mirrors or because animal activities are in great demand. So what type of animals are the first group of animals? The thick and multi-layered background wall expands the three-dimensional activity space together with. The thick branches in all directions indicate that the residents inside are good. Climbing ability of cardinal coral and giant agave on the ground revealed. The source of inspiration for the set of environments. This pair of people lying on their backs basking in the lantern are native to the arid regions of southwestern North America. The ordinary one with the bright red color is the one I am willing to give to my wife. The male who is a pillow, don't look at them now, they are quite lazy, other people's activities. Very capable. Look at this half-meter tall smooth dragon snake blue man. He can do it as he pleases. So, for Kobisai, who can lie on a cactus and bask in the sun in the wild. A boulder of this magnitude just scratches the itch. Not only do you not feel like a scumbag, you are often dazzled around you. Then this is good for skin peeling. Also, notice that it is red now. When you turn around and slide, it turns gray-white. This may be related to the scales. The microstructure is related to making them look different colors from different angles. When basking in the sun, they will spread themselves out as flat as possible like this. Use stones to increase heat collection area. Look, when it feels comfortable, do its legs look like a turtle? In the right light, they will exhibit this behavior. What kind of lighting configuration can meet this high UV demand? Species that very luxurious 7-light set with 4 silver light tubes on the ceiling, 2 golden furnace lamps, and this mixed light on the right rear. Why does this give so many lights? It's because these species need. The UV is as high as 4.5 to 8. In addition, the environment is high and wet. Metal mesh and conventional light sets are difficult to achieve such a high value. So why? Don't make the environment low and put the lights close to the animals. This is because of ultraviolet rays. The stronger the light, the longer the safe distance. Too close will be counterproductive. Moreover, lizards know how much ultraviolet light they need. It is safest to distance themselves and let them adjust their positions. More importantly, their activities cannot be sacrificed just for the sake of light. Space all 4 masters with long-term experience will recommend using a height of environment above 8 to take into account lighting and activity needs. If their activity needs are met, not only can they witness, various behaviors can also be exchanged for long-term companionship. Look at this one in front of you. He's just a female in her 20s. Even though she looks old, she's still in good condition. Very good, but there's still more than 30 years left between the two, and the extreme record this year, illumination. For them, it's not just about keeping warm and replenishing calcium, but also light and good appetite. It will also be better. Under the irradiation of UA, these foods will also become better people. Some people may wonder how they are vegetarians and are they really concerned about their country of origin? It's not very rich. The only thing that's not lacking may be various shrubs, so their staple food is very similar to that of desert deer and tortoises. They are both made from flowers and grass. Lords. But even with so many lights, we still have to pay for the third party once or twice a month. Covering with powder is safer. Artificial lamps are not so easy to satisfy. There. Finally, let's talk about their names. Why is it called Kobixi? Do they summon big foxes on the wall? I haven't found this name, but I guess it may have something to do with their behavior. You see, he is chasing another tin. They will nod quickly like this to warn the other party. If you look at it from the bottom up, it may be used in the feeling of cowbell on the wall. Who is he chasing after? Let's look up. There is a small tin handle on this tree. At first glance, you can see that the Yuzei is not chasing him. Keep looking up. The person being chased from behind is the one who spends most of the time. Blue tin with sun lamp on the back wall. Huan Yening yellow collar gold, constant shades of blue with black horizontal stripes. This rare color combination has made countless people obsessed with it. It has a non-colliding back leg. It also provides a powerful driving force for their climbing and jumping. This is still a boy. Looking at their appearance, it is easy for people to think that they are. It's local. But in fact, it is more appropriate to say that they are from rock gas, and there is no place of origin. So many trees, mountain rocks and canyons have become their destination. This species appeared in a video a long time ago, but the environment, it was too shabby. I didn't tell him much at the time because I was afraid that everyone would find it so itchy. That's it. Now this kind of thing is really suitable for them. Wrap it in the trunk with him. There is also a Kobiki boy. You see, it's no problem for the little fat guy to climb high. You may be thinking that just now. He was also bullied by his parents. How can he still film it? They don't have the fierce pursuit of the human world. Just avoid them as far as possible. Anyway, Lan Yen spends most of his time at high altitudes, so he keeps them there. There's nothing wrong with staying down there for a while. You see, now that they have given up the square, Blue Rock can come down to look for food. Is this guy also a vegetarian? In fact, their staple food is insects, but occasionally, I also eat flowers and fruits. Especially the yellow flowers are particularly eye-catching in their eyes. Huanghua is very fond of. Many solar galaxies also have strong attractions, such as dandelions and chrysanthemums. They are all very cheap ingredients. You can also try many solar galaxies. But it doesn't come to the ground just to eat. But it's afternoon, and the sun has turned around. They want to bask in the sun. You see, even though they have the highest standard lighting configuration here, there is still a gap compared to the natural view. Even though the sunlight has been filtered by the glass, the UV has a brightness spectrum. Color rendering always has advantages that are hard to match with artificial lights. So the cold Blue Rock, who doesn't usually come down often, would be willing to do it for this. When the sun comes to the ground, only Lan Yen and Ko Jishi will enjoy it. Sunshine, the little geckos roaming around outside will also come over to ask for. Note that this ceiling is not made of glass. You can also come in a little bit. So it's still useful for geckos. Even if it's such a narrow strip, I have to come over and show it. So I found that no animals can vote with their feet. I mentioned it before. So much lighting knowledge, in front of real sunlight, all of this. Overshadowed, yes, in the field of terrestrial ethnology, humans are still working hard. Naturally, even experts from Europe and the United States are still trying to catch up. How to work hard to raise your child better. The pain points in this field are bigger than you think. There are much more, and what I'm doing now is just sorting them out with you. Just some basic content. I believe that after several years of accumulation, we may be able to solve it together. Some problems. They are not the only ones enjoying the sunshine here at the same time. There is also a very rare little guy next door.
This guy enjoying his afternoon is McDougal's Johnson. Ganglongsi also has a name that everyone is familiar with, which is Jinshi. The familiar peacock Jinshi is the city of this genus Kianglong. Jane is referring to their distinctive scaly features, but don't look at them. They are all Jane. They are so different. There are more than 80 species in the entire rare genus. Conquered various scent environments in the place of origin from the main road. Forests, savannas, rocky deserts to cloud forests are produced under the same genus. Highly differentiated, even 24 can be divided according to habits and physiological characteristics. Groups, but the rare wheat in front of us belongs to the Yenchi group. The living environment is relatively dry, and we like bright and dazzling sunlight. But we, the well-known rare peacocks, belong to almost the opposite mountain forest group. Although the types of auras are very different, the rare families still have something in common. Yes, they all need ultraviolet light. Although this wheat is rare and does not have the waste electricity like the ones just now, it is still need a hot tunnel every morning when the sun lamp heats the rocks. On the surface, the rare people will line up under the lights to keep warm and bask in their backs. Here, we can see the small society of Western medicine families when everyone is exposed to the sun together. When the best position is often occupied by a male. Yes, the one with the big butt shoulder and the blue dot on the shoulder is a male. It's rare. The family is also obviously bisexual, and the appearance of the females is very different. Males are much brighter in color. It doesn't seem that colorful. Yes, they are no longer young either. These items have been exhibited since 2016 and have already broken through the wild. Lifespan is so extreme that you can even give birth to healthy offspring this year. It is enough to show that a good environment is the key to improving such launch. The more mature a species is, the longer its lifespan should be, not the longer it needs to be raised. The shorter the lifespan, in addition to the environment, a reasonable diet is also important for them. The recipe is very similar to blue smoke too, both are based on insects. Adults occasionally eat flowers and grass. Why don't you feed crickets to someone with this body type? It's actually possible, but the crickets will burrow into the hole before you throw them in. Their low-light vision is not very good, so they may not be able to eat, while locusts are. The sun-shaped ones also bask in the sun, which is more in line with their hunting habits. Not only are day-forming species active in the sky, but nocturnal species are familiar with their environment. They will also come out for activities. Looking at the lush grass indicates that the native mirror needs to be moist. There are so many, and the protagonist here usually squats in such grass. Solid skin, really broken eyes. This is the Colorado River cicada. This is what we often call Shachan kitchen, although it is left in the desert. Their paths are all close to permanent water sources, where there are flowers and grass. It's not an endless desert, but this environment is unfortunately copper. The adult Shachan kitchen here is not picky about electrical materials. How to raise it? Either way is fine, but for young individuals, it's better to use a flat artificial. Electrical materials are safer. Anyway, they are not really needed if you have a Asian. Full comparison. Climbing high is a better way to let yourself go. At this time, maybe I discovered that sand cicadas are not nighttime. Why do they come out to bask in the sun? Memorize it. This is just like the sand dye you saw before. The high temperatures in a place of origin leave them with no choice. So these desert species are forced to walk at night once they encounter the right environment. If the greenhouse temperature is low, they can be out and about all day long, since they are willing to. If you go out to bask in the sun during the day, follow the minimum level of ultraviolet radiation. Isn't it safer to supplement calcium for them than dietary supplements? That's right. Sand dying, extreme temperatures, behavior of traditional nocturnal species such as bald cats in captivity. The pattern changes somewhat, and these species are classified. A song by Foxy. There will be better examples of this concept later. These ones have been living here for 10 years. They are no longer just children who come out in the evening and night. Germany has done a good job of protecting and promoting native amphibians. Many children like Wale very much. After seeing so many American species, we should change venues. Beyond the trees, you can see a wider environment. The anti-humid plants reflect the humidity here and live on the ground. A pair of Indonesian rugs? They are 20 years old this year. Are there any of them the same age? Audiences, please report in the barrage, but for them, 20 years old is already. I am middle-aged and older, so I am not as active every day as humans of the same age. My only activity is to take a bubble bath, bask in the sun, and lie down for a whole day. But the most noteworthy thing about this environment is actually in the trees. Through the great night melt from Australia, we came to a tree trunk 3 meters high. Squatting here is a 12-year-old G. Benwa. What surprises me is not that. It's not its age. Look at the light. It was 10 a.m. when I took the photo. Just ask me something. I'm really curious about how long this nocturnal rainforest species can last in the sun. Then you see, it's about 5 p.m. and the sun has completely gone around. During this period, I also visited it a few times, but it was more than 7 times. It hasn't changed position for hours. Even when the museum is closed, it's still there. Why isn't it afraid? Look carefully. This is a sprinkler head so you won't get dehydrated. Okay, back in the afternoon. Actually, I also wondered if it felt cold, so the next day I tried again. I went there and found that it was no longer there, but hanging on the cool leaves. After spending a day here, I feel like I don't fit in with the factory, right?
But in fact, this kind of behavior is consistent with reports from long-term keepers. As long as there is no excessive sun or natural enemies, these big trees will occasionally go to the sun to recharge your batteries, and you may not need to go out in the sun for a few days once. So how strong is the ultraviolet ray here? I can't go into this room to test it, but there is a semi-open environment parallel to it. It's the radiation load rules of the next door. Their ceiling structures are the same. You see, the UI here is almost 0, 2 to 0, 3. It's only this high at noon when it's the sunniest. It's like the basic temperature. Provides a basic UV intensity for the entire audience. Many animals in semi-open environments can enjoy natural ultraviolet rays. If there are higher needs, add a light and let them dry it by themselves. Then you can. You may be thinking, is there a boundary between day travel and night travel? There are definitely still some in the wild, but in captivity the boundaries between many species have become blurred. Especially those nocturnal species that have adapted to artificial environments and reproduced for many generations. It will change the behavior pattern to some extent and no longer act according to common sense. It makes sense. After all, in the wild, nocturnal species are not absolute. They will be exposed to the light through short-term fragmentation. Sunlight, especially some night crabs, can be absorbed faster. Opposite the lines, their skin is mostly thinner. Skin synthesis is third. The efficiency is also higher than that of various species, and they are not like efficient. Like a sun god, you can stay in the sun for a whole day. Therefore, more shelter should be provided in the environment so that they can retreat at any time. Gather species with such needs to form. Census species with the lowest UV requirements. This concept has already been widely accepted in the international professional field. There are more and more enthusiasts summarizing data according to this method, so more and more species are included in this evaluation system.
The materials you see are all taken by me at this zoo. There are countless such examples in real life, but for us,
this concept is still very new, and new things tend to cause controversy. This is very normal because European and American countries have also experienced this step.
All it takes is time, but even the environment in the zoo.
The average score is very high, but there will inevitably be some problems. I will find out and solve them. Let's look at it dialectically. For example, here. Do you think this environment looks like a breeding ground? There are 3 basking spots, 2 pools, and a lot of climbing objects.
What do you think it is? It can be shot on the barrage. I didn't see it on the ground. Then let's take a look at the above.
How did you capture it? This one observing tourists is from the green-double relationship in the South American rainforest. Anyone who knows something about the double crown will definitely ask, why don't you raise a double crown in this environment? Even if Germany has a humidity level in Jiangsu and Zhejiang and added a pool, this environment is very harmful to the double crown.
It's a bit dry, but how can I put it? I feel like I'm still tolerating this state. Within the scope, it is obvious that this environment was not designed for double crown at all.
Usually the color background walls and vegetation are clearly meant for those giant crabs or pythons in Australia. But why are they here? Because the double crowns here are also free range. After giving birth, they will grow up. There's really no place to put the fight. This place happens to be empty, so I'll stay here temporarily. It's here, but that's not what this episode is about. I took you to see it. After watching the fake Australian residents, we are going to go now. Look, the environment next door is more typical. It's 3 meters high. The red bank tree not only enriches the 3-dimensional space, but also draws people in. Western Australia. The red sandstone and sand dots suggest that only those who can adapt to drought. Only species that belong to the environment can play happily here. Who is the protagonist here?
Thick bone scales and a round figure, this person is the world. One of the well-known Australian species, songbushi. He just got from meeting. Wake up from a nap, drink some water, and start today's activities. The body structure of songbushi doesn't look like the host of this activity, but they are not motionless at all. But the way of activities is different from common sense. What we see as day walking. It should be a good night's sleep to refresh the day, but for pine cones, their sleep is. However, I sleep sparsely and walk around every day to sleep whenever I feel like it. This also makes me sleepy. They earned the title of Trial Sleeping Series in their country of origin. This feels good. Let's sleep for a while. When you're ready, wake up and keep walking. So their daily schedule is breakpoint type. Even if you stop and go like this, you can still get out if you spend a few hours every day. A few hundred meters away. Hey, the plague is coming. After another nap, I just fell asleep. Next door. I was woken up by the ringing of church bells. I have to walk around again. Today's energy goal has not been achieved yet. Let's go. I fell asleep after just a few steps. The place of origin is so dry. Can I find food here? Although the place of origin is dry, there are still many plants. Flowers are eaten in spring. It's good to eat fruits in summer and occasionally pick up some insects to eat. And there are not many types of plants. In the wild, they would be eating from a buffet on a plant. Just pick some and eat them. Shanwu will pick up a plant and eat the soil. They are in captivity. A diverse diet is more in line with their habits. Okay, today's activities are over. He's going to officially go to bed now. He sleeps when he wants and has no rules when it comes to acting. He is the oldest in the Scheme family. Rules. Although this shows that they have their own ideas. But this strange phenomenon caused a lot of trouble for filming.
Every time I go to the new factory to check out the sites and make plans, I see skinks. I knew I had to play the card early and come home late again. The Blue Snake Defender's pine cone scene is like this for everyone, but this pine cone is different. If you are not afraid, you just dare to sleep outside, even crawl up to 1 meter. How high is the glass roof to sleep in front of?
You see, your little hand is very trusting of tourists, but this trust in unfamiliar faces may take years to achieve.
Someone probably noticed it just now. This pine cone looks a little sick and itchy. First, there's sand and dust on my face, and then I have to shake my taste when eating. How can I say it is itchy? But if you know his age, you won't think so. He has never. I came here in 1992 and I've lived here for 30 years now. He was not a cub when he first arrived, so he must be at least 30 years old. You know, the average lifespan of a pine cone is only 10 to 15 years, so he Duodo is an old man, but it is precisely because of his age that his mouth and eyes
Glands are less controlled.
My intelligence and sense of smell have been reduced, and I can't recognize food when it's placed in front of me.
The breeder needs to be very patient and needs to be changed every time he feeds.
I persuaded him to try it from several angles. Human lizards also use their tongues to assist. Feeling the smell. Look at him sticking out his tongue like this. He just doesn't know what he's doing and is a little confused. But take the opportunity to let him lift the array. You can tell that these are edible by looking at them. Adult pine cones are mainly vegetarian, but if he eats fruits and vegetables from normal pine cones, it will. It's a bit difficult to say. It's like feeding an old man a liquid diet, so he doesn't seem to have much appetite.
But it will be more nutritious.
The pine cones are all for presenters. Why don't you find a companion? I've been looking for it. Wasn't it all taken away by him? Although it's not clear yet. Does Coons usually need a companion for the elderly? But he is not alone here. Look, there's a clan member here, staring at the rice in his bowl. He's an adult. Samchisi is also mainly vegetarian. Look at the vegetables on the ground in the distance. It's just for them.
But it is obvious that our clan is a master who pursues food. I've been squatting here all day, waiting for this bite.
Look back at me. It's okay. I don't want to eat. Okay, old pinecone is full. He's about to take action. Did you see his raised tail? This behavior is equivalent to their expression. Expressing excitement. With this compound fruit, whoever eats the shabby vegetable will not even look at it. But if the breeder has just left, don't be too impulsive, otherwise you will be driven away. No one is here to disturb me. Prepare to cook. Follow Pinecone, who is not here now. Just take a plate and go. It smells so good. It's so refreshing. I have been thinking about this mouthful for several days. It tastes so good after one bite.
Half a day. Show off again.
Dijin, that's what it tastes like. Anyone who has raised a master knows that they can distinguish between food bowls and food. Why did he even look at the basin? Because he was too anxious and wanted to eat.
Because such delicious food is not available every day. If you don't eat it,
I have to wait for several days. It seems anxious. This means there is a size limit. If his mouth was big enough, he would probably swallow it all. Wait, it looks like we have an uninvited guest. The male who had been in the tree also came over.
Are you here to grab food? Let's observe. Why do I have to come? It turns out that I'm not here for a meal, but for a mate. Just nodding at the nymphomaniac means, come on, come on, come on. One shot and I'm going to shake it off. Notice that his throat is already darker than before.
Others use their mouths to make food, but you use your feet to make food. You see such delicious food is right next to your feet. People don't even look at it. That means they are.
I'm not here to grab food at all. I just want to do adult things. I'm going down. I just want to try again.
You're annoying his wife. Grandma, I just want to fuck you. You just want to fuck me. Are you serious?
If you are not sensible, some people may have doubts about this pair being kept together.
It's not bad for females. In fact, it's just like here. It's the environment.
Plenty of space for the female to retreat from.
Attacking is not that easy to succeed. Chasing means chasing after a few steps and then stopping. People are measured. Even if the attack is very high and the chin is completely black, the female can still do it.
I refuse to take care of something so careless.
If you are not active in your work or have a problem with your thinking, just nod. No one will care about you.
You see, I have calmed down now.
Therefore, space and visual barriers are the key to healthy cohabitation as long as, if you give the female a place to hide, the unemployed ones will chase after her. And the most amazing thing is that they can know each other's intentions through subtle movements. Your janitor rushed over, but he came for my wife. I knew I wasn't here to find him, so I didn't run away like I did just now. That's because he has noticed that his husband has calmed down. So the matter was just avoided. It was that simple. And it wasn't. This can not only be witnessed in a zoo, but also in a private environment. It can be done. If the environment is slightly larger and the three-dimensional space is used well, the female can avoid the male's pursuit. In fact, in terms of size and active ability, adult masters are not little lizards, and their arrogance is really high. Otherwise, it would only be when they catch up to the position. Seeing them coming over, in the past almost 2 years. Most of the time you see them, they're in the trees, not just here. In all zoos and private environments, if there is someone who can climb, local masters will spend a lot of time on it, giving them a little. A high environment will make their stay more comfortable. The zoo is a good place. Reference template, but if conditions are limited, use one with both length and height.
Boxes over 1 meter can also achieve good results.
If the living environment is good and people are careful around them, the lifespan of a grandmaster will be greatly extended. The current highest record is a mermaid from Germany who lived to be 19 years old 5 months. His husband also lived for 16 years and 8 months. Then the next one to break this record will be the grandmaster we raise. Although there is always a gap between ideals and reality, if we don't work hard towards our ideals. How can reality be changed? I will continue to explain it in depth in the future.
Technical details about the grandmasters, about their lives, and many stories worth telling.
The above is the first part of the 4th episode of the mobilization of the French in the land of creatures. Part of the content has received over 10,000 likes on January 21, New Year's Eve. Not only will I introduce you to more species, but I will also give you an understanding of them. Understand further. Have knowledge first, and then attitude.
I am Dongqing. I wish you all good health and everything goes well in 2023.